And we are live. What is up, everybody? A special edition of Aaron the Dog MMA, Aaron the English Bulldog for this edition of Cage Warriors 172 Breakdown Show. Headlined by Orlando Prins and Harry Hardwick. I guess somebody had to headline this card, but with me, making his debut on the channel, which is just a damn shame because he is one of the original guys, supporters of kind of the second rise in this channel's popularity. I will say that the only responsibility for that, Moiz Audio. How you doing, sir?
Let's go.
How you feeling about this card going into it? We got 15 fights, some 1-1, 6-8, like all over the place as Cage Warriors. So, how you feeling?
Your standard Euro trash card. Lots of finishes and lots of fouls and dumb stuff. And
yeah, we had Mushroom saying what up to Moiz and I. Good to see you, Mushroom. 2 cents with the carousel horses ready to go, and Stubborn Mick Moiz addressed to the of course.
It's just a shirt.
Devin, fucking A. I think we got some excited people because they're always asking me to do additional cards, and if there's not UFC, you're going to get me to do a 15-fight card from Newcastle, with the Virtuoso Arena, whatever it is. I don't really care. I am going to start to try to do timestamps, and I'm only saying that out loud to keep myself from doing it. We're going to start in the middleweight division, Jordan O'Neill and Sedaris. And that's the first of many mispronunciations on this Euro card. With me is European pronunciation expert, Moiz. How did I do with the Greek fighter?
7.5 of 10. Let's go.
I'll take it. Upheaval, very, very excited. Upheaval, one of the good follows. I love to have them here. So anyways, I'll kind of set up these fights, always be candid on the ones I feel better about, don't feel good about. I think this one's kind of set up for the English fighter. With Sedaris, 4-2. It's been in some interesting fight. The interesting fight from what I found was his original loss, but that was in 2014. Haven't been able to find anything since he came back in 2023. He had a 4-year layoff, and he's finished guys in 1 minute who have no records. Jordan O'Neill, definitely, I think the fighter they're trying to push here. He's had a 5-fight win streak after starting his an amateur career 0-3. Looks like the better fighter, Charles Joyner, who's fighting later on the fight card.
I love Charles Joyner. I think he'll be in the UFC soon.
In the UFC, okay. Yeah. So that's a big win for Jordan, obviously. You probably feel good about Jordan here too. He probably rolls.
Yeah.
Any thoughts other than that?
Now that Greek guy, I think he gasses. Starts hot. He probably most likely gas again. So.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get some finishes after he has the decision in the guillotine. Minus 500 for O'Neill. We have a lot of those types of odds on this fight card, and honestly, of the minus 500s, I don't expect much.
He's brought in to lose. That's
Yep, agreed. We're gonna not spend time on fights that just don't deserve time spent on them. I'm thinking this is probably gonna be about a 45-minute show or so. But again, this fight, there's only so much we can say. So we'll move on. Minus 500. If you want to parlay and be sick, go ahead. This fight right here, Prince McLean, very, very bad. I'm just gonna skip right to him. Making Matthew Byfield look as good as he did. Josh Clark. I mean, he's being, again, brought in here to look bad. He's 37, almost 38 years old. Francesco has had some weird fights. The Joan fight, he had the DQ against our boy Angus Hewitt. He was kind of winning the fight until he wasn't. And then as soon as he did get hit with that knee, that illegal knee. There was the blood drawn, but I do think that was a case where Francesco was kind of expecting his opponent Angus to break. He didn't. Angus was probably winning the second half of that fight. If Angus doesn't have the poor IQ there, we probably cash our Angus Hewitt bet from last time. Prince McLean, this is how bad Prince McLean is. He's no Angus Hewitt. So, Francesco is going to put him away in the first round by KO. Anything you have?
No, he's brought in to lose, and Angus Hewitt, meme of all memes. He was winning against Francesco. He was winning his last fight as well until he got caught in that buggy choke.
Mm-hmm. And we'll bet him again next time now.
Yeah, of course. We'll probably get him at plus 300 next time.
Yeah, plus 350. He always makes the wrong choice. But Prince McLean, there's no way he beats Francesco at all. They're trying to set up for like the Milan co-main event spot.
Not a 19-second loss to Alex Nicholson. That says it all.
Yes, that's the one. That was it with Game Bread, I believe. Was that with
Bare Knuckle? I think.
Yeah, it was. Either way, that was a horrible fight. I remember watching that. So yeah, if you're losing to Alex Nicholson, say no more. Yeah, Francesco, another pretty large favorite for good reason as well. Like, I think he's even wider at this point, minus 700. He's added this. Or he opened at minus 500, now he's at minus 700, and I think it makes complete sense. But obviously, we're not going to get involved that much at that point. But I think first round KO is definitely happening. This fight right here, this is an interesting one. I'm pretty excited for it. Bentayev, as he's known within Aries, just goes by the one name, but now has come over here. He's 4-4. He reminds me of Dizzy, and it's Dynamite, not Aries he was with, but reminds me a lot of like Anthony Dizzy, just like a very grindy, well-rounded. If you're lower in your experience, which Jackson Clark is, he can kind of expose it, ride you out for a few rounds, and take the win. You look at the guys that Jackson Clark has fought. I was able to watch some of these fights, but I mean, they're not against a very good level of competition when he did take the step up. Got a little bit exposed. The Danny Wilson fight was not a good look at all either. And I get that was early in the amateur career, but it's only a little over a year and a half ago for him. Lost by Kimura in a grappling competition. So these are things that kind of let me know that there's potential 0-1 coming here. Veteran lesson from the 4-4 fighter Bentayev. So I'll take Bentayev to get the decision. Very Tom Marin style, just that hang on you. Like, it's not going to be exciting, but particularly in Cage Warriors, that does not get discounted as much. Like, they really seem to rate control higher of the organization. So yeah, I got Bentayev here to expose the newcomer.
Yeah, Fodell, he isn't particularly any specialist in any area. I feel like he has some grappling, he has some striking, he has some jiu-jitsu. So I think that's enough to beat Jackson Clark, who's making his pro debut. Mm-hmm. Jackson Clark, from what I've seen, he has to adjust to 5-minute rounds, and try to throw an overhand or a 1-2 punch combo and clinch up against the fence won't work, I guess. I think Fodell is stronger than him in the clinch, and will get by via his greasy decision, I guess.
Yeah, no, it will not be pretty. And
it won't be pretty, yeah.
The finishing likelihood is very low on Bentayev's side. Clark, I think, to win needs a finish. So wouldn't surprise me if Bentayev's banking the first 2 rounds but he doesn't have the gas. Third round gets caught with a body kick, something that just kind of just plants him, because that is, I think, Clark's best route is to find a way to finish. But yeah, this one opened up with Clark as like a minus 150, plus 120 to Bentayev. It's now straight up a pick 'em. So no one knows if it's going to be that veteran lesson or the 4-4 guy showing why he's 4-4. And again, Jackson Clark from England, he's going to have the crowd on his side. Can work on his side or against him, being a younger fighter and in his pro debut, though. So Chuck Norris, pick 'em fight. I got Bentayev, but no bet at this point.
No.
All right. Move on to the next one. I'm really interested in this one. I like Nick Bagley a lot. I think he's a guy who definitely has potential to make it onto the Contender Series sometime next year and into the UFC eventually. And Nick Bukima is going to come in here and fight, wild, I think, until he does eventually get put down on his back and then his back taken and choked out, most likely. Very good strikes in his debut there. I was able to watch that. His second fight, he was taken down and got, kind of a sloppy armbar from guard that I just don't see Bagley having the problems with. Bakimo is very explosive as well. I got to watch his Cage Warriors Academy fights too. His Ahmed knockout was really nice in the second round there. So definitely has the power in this one. I think Bagley, who's the wrestler here for the most part, Great Britain top team, knows what he needs to do here. Last two shown, but he did get a little bit exposed against Ben Ellis, who is not a very high level guy. We've kind of seen when he takes that next step up, the Welsh wrestler really, put Bagley, but I just don't think that Bakimo has that type of game to where he's going to be putting Bagley on his back. Bagley does seem like the type of wrestler who likes to be in control. When he's not, he struggles, but Bakimo, he's going to have to catch him with something. And I don't see that. So I rate Bagley highly here. I think he finds the back and gets his third straight rear naked choke finish at some point in this fight, or a decision, pretty dominant. But I like Bagley in this one. What do you think, Moiz?
I don't know. I think Nick is a better boxer and has more dangerous.
They're both Nick.
Yeah, I mean the guy from Holland, Bukema, okay? Yeah, Bukema guy. He has the finishing upside. I feel like he hits harder and has more explosive BJJ as well. And the only issue is that I haven't found any footage of him defending takedowns, so I don't know. Nick Bagley. What I don't like about him is that he shoots in from very far away. So,
think about it, because right now the line's at minus 360 for Bagley, or around there, right?
Yeah.
What does it become if Bakimo stuffs the first two takedowns?
Pick him.
Exactly. Basically. If that, or to Bakimo's side fully. So these are the types of this fight is canceled. Is it really? This fight's canceled. Well,
fuck. This fight should be in the main card,
Yeah, this is a great. I would figure that one of the best fights is canceled. I'll say this real quick with just this scenario in general. We run into a lot at this level of Cage Wars where we don't have the footage or evidence in any way of how do they deal with their opponent's best. So you are taking those gambles. So in this case, I could understand if someone was taking a gamble on Bakimo at plus 270, but now apparently it's irrelevant. So we'll move on to the next fight. But thank you, Kasangani, for that update there. Apologies for that one, but we'll move on to the next one, which is a Charles Joyner showcase bout against 1-3 Albert Seretti here. You said you like Charles Joyner. I'm actually going to let you take it away with the Charles Joyner. What do you like about Charles Joyner? I also was able to watch him, but what do you like about him?
He's southpaw, great kickboxer, tall man grappling defense, and one kick to the liver KO, signature KO. So it's gonna be fun. So long it lasts. He's gonna kill this guy, Alberto Seretti.
Seretti, the legend. Yeah, I also really do like Charles Joyner. It was nice to be able to watch that fight with Jordan O'Neill. And then also, the Liam Dunn fight, we both got to see that. Really, really nice KO. Had a nice punch KO in his last fight. He hasn't faced the level yet, but at 1-3, Albert Seretti, not really testing that level either. I was able to watch both of his De Gregorio fights, lost both of them, and just at his moments for sure, but as it leaves his chin up there, I think that he gets exposed here. Both guys are longer, taller fighters for light heavyweight even. So, but they're skinnier guys. But I like Charles as well in that fight. And I believe last I checked, he's not a horrible. Let me see, where was his line there?
He was minus 400 last time I checked.
Yeah, minus 500 now. So it is bad. Never mind. So I was hoping to string them together with a few, but minus 500. That's pretty much accurate, unfortunately. So next fight here. This is another one of the very, very close fights. Reminds me a lot of the Ben Tayyib fight that we broke down earlier, but this one's at bantamweight. Tom Wright and Joe Fields. Joe Fields, the younger up and coming kid, but Tom Wright has been around for a little bit longer, even though he is 1-1. Just I think fights like more of the composed veteran, has a longer amateur career, has some very good amateur experience as well, albeit the loss to Jack Axworthy, that was a really good fight. And Jack Axworthy, a guy who's definitely on the up and coming with Uriah Faber's organization right now. And I think he'll be on the up and coming, but like really kept good composure at points in that fight where Axworthy was really landing some good barrages and would put away a lot of guys, especially at the amateur level there. And, just overall, I think that he got some good experience at that level. 1-1 here coming in, looked much better in his second fight with Cage Warriors against Jimmy Quinn. And Joe Fields just, still pretty unproven at this level, but, also had a good amateur experience. His fight with Connor Walsh was very, very close, but I think at times did show that he can kind of be grinded down. Connor Walsh, younger up-and-coming fighter, so I think has a little bit more of an upside here. So I think that fight does end up helping Joe Fields. So I'm going to take the Butcher to win this one, but I think this is going to be a very close one again. But I like the younger fighter in Joe Fields to learn from that amateur experience, particularly the Connor Walsh fight, which was a 5-round championship fight. So helpful there, and then look good against Fidel in his debut. Thoughts, Moiz?
No, I'm picking the dog, Tom Wright. These guys are basically more or less have the same skills, but Wright, he throws in combos. He'll land more on the head and get to this decision, I guess.
Yeah, money's come in on Wright as well, down to plus 185 now. Yeah. So opened up at plus 275 for Wright, but he got down to plus 120. Now it's shot back up to minus 225.
Yeah, it should be evens, but I do believe he'll land more via his combos. Joe Fields, from what I saw, he tends to wait sometimes, so so I gotta go with Tom Wright here.
Yep, taking a shot at the dog. Fair enough. And these are all Bet Online lines as of now. That's the book that I have available for lines for this event. Next up, 185. This one's going to be fun for however long it lasts, and that's how you can describe every Michael Chimo fight till the end of time. Does he have the highest IQ? No. Does he have the best gas tank? No. Can he just put on some freak-like performances and get some really good finishes against decent fighters? Sure. Will he be champion? No. He's not going to be champion. 33 years old here, 3-fight losing streak, losing to Will Curry, Nogales, the smiling guy, by triangle, and then Carlos Graca. That was the concerned one in the last one, and a late finish there in the third round. If you survive the early onslaught with Michael Chimo, from there on, it goes very, very bad for him. And a guy like Joe Ambler, you look at him here, he's got the 2 belts, he's bald. He's a grinder against Rhino Daly, a 1-3 fighter who's pretty much a pure striker. Ended up getting him down consistently and submitting him in the first round. Had a not a good performance at all against Jordan O'Neal. Honestly, got kind of just washed in that one. Good amateur experience as well, but at the same point, I just don't think that beating Rhino Daly in an impressive performance is enough for me to discount Mr. Michael Chimo here. And if you're giving me plus money with Michael Chimo, I'm going to take it until Michael Chimo is out of Cage Warriors. So if this is the last time of me getting the plus 190 on Mr. Chimo, then I'm taking it. But Joe Ambler ain't no Will Curry. He ain't no Nogales. Maybe he's a Carlos Graca, but he's going to have to show me. So give me the plus 190 on Chimo. He's going to finish him, obviously. So if he wins. Moiz.
Yeah, there's nothing much to add. I'm picking Chimo as well, but he has to finish him in round 1. He has the power to knock anyone out. But for some reason, he went for grappling last fight. I don't understand it. He should have knocked out the Garcia guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Again, it's the IQ. So yeah, that's it. Round 1 KO. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't survive 3 minutes with Jordan O'Neal. I'm going to say that Michael Chimo finds a way to get him out of there early and often. So go ahead. We are both on the plus 190 dog Chimo here. believe that I wasn't even able to review a Jack Humphries because this, I believe, is a very late replacement. João dos Santos, I was able to look at the flyweight out of Brazil here. Lost a decision to a Maximus Krajcek in his last fight 2 months ago. Just got absolutely grinded out in that fight against Hamed Tawana. He knocked him out, really clean shots. He's a long, lengthy Brazilian striker here with next to no takedown defense. Jack Humphries, wasn't able to watch him, wasn't able to look at his tape. Looking at his amateur career, he's got great IMMAF experience. He's world champion over there. From what I'm seeing in the guys he's fighting, like Isradov, Elise Eber, like really good. And this is basically paid amateur fights also. So on Tapology breakdown here, I'm going to go with Jack Humphries the Ripper to destroy João here. So unless the distance is an issue, but João has trouble with distance control even against the shorter reach fighters. So I would assume Humphries puts him down and gets what he wants. Moiz, I didn't watch any Jack Humphries tape, I'll be honest.
Yeah, he does the Khabib thing, pressure fighter. Throw some strikes, then immediately jump on his leg and body lock and, attack submissions and either get the submission or control him for 3 rounds. So let's
how
see
do you feel about IMAF? Do you like that with amateurs?
I mean, it's the thing is that the rounds are 3 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Let's say you in the first round you win the striking battle, then you get held up against the cage. You can just relax there because you more or less won the round. You can just relax on the cage for 2 minutes, but you can't relax 4 minutes. They lost the round. That's the only issue with these amateurs, adjusting to the 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, so, and then making a good point with Chris Leroy Duncan, IMMAF GOAT. No, fair enough. I always like to get that angle there. And let me just take a look, see if there's any odds currently for this fight or if it's too new. I don't believe there are.
Probably opens minus 400. So
yeah, we'll say around there. And then,
most likely, yeah.
What up, Brian? Good to have you in here. I just want to say hello to Rusty, one of the original supporters of the channel as well. All right, we'll keep rolling on here. We're to, I believe, what the featured prelim is as of now. Marco Serazjarvi, the Finnish fighter, taking on Bailey Gilbert out of England. Bailey Gilbert, the guy who beat up Thomas Paul, the deaf fighter, in one of the fights and knocked him out. And then has gone into Cage Warriors and had a little bit of some veteran lessons, first by Tom Mearns, who I was talking about earlier, and then by Orlando Wilson Prins, who's in the main event here. Orlando had never looked more dangerous, and that's kind of where the problem is. Like, to get a knockout like that, that's concerning with Orlando Prins. That's not usually how you're expecting him to go. So Bailey Gilbert's still 24 years old, young in his career, but he was fighting 0-2 guys and 2-0 guys, even Thomas Paul, like not the best level of competition. Serazjarvi facing very good levels of competition, and the Jack Claffey fight extremely close. In the fight before that, Solomon Simon, I think, is going to be a problem at some point too. That guy is an absolute beast, and that fight is really impressive. Just from both those guys, and the finish by Simon there in the 3rd round. So I was interested in Bailey Gilbert. I saw the plus money next to him, and it did get my interest. But I mean, Bailey hasn't shown it to me at this level at all. And I think Marco is pretty high level. I think the 3-2 is a little bit misleading into how good this guy could possibly be. So I'm getting away from Bailey Gilbert. I'm going to go with Marco Serazjarvi in this spot. And it's more just rating his level of competition, how well he's looked against him, but could be a fighter who kind of just rises to his level, but comes up just short type of guy. So maybe Bailey gets it done, and I get the plus money. It's tempting on him. Maybe I'm psyching myself out here. Moiz, do you have a strong feel one way or another on this one?
No, I didn't know Bailey was a dog, but I'm picking Bailey. It's because Marco is too inactive. He does the camera, the camera staring stuff, taking pictures. So just based on activity, I have to go with Bailey. The only issue I have with Bailey is he plays guard too much. Hopefully he has trained some get-ups or more efficient scrambling.
Yeah, we saw with Marco, particularly the Simon fight, both fights actually, his last two, he's very willing to go to the grappling. So Gilbert is going to end up on his back.
Yeah.
So the response is to play in that guard. I think he's going to eat up minutes really quick.
Yeah.
So Marco opened the dog at plus 120, and then the lines flipped. And,
it's mostly likely because of the guard playing game. So
yeah.
But I have to pick Bailey.
No, it's fair. Plus 160, the best price you could get him at plus 160. Open at minus 150, minus 200 on Seres Jarvie here. There's no world where I'm betting a minus 200 Seres Jarvie at all. So, all right, main card time. Starting out, this one is going to be a fun one. Aiden Lee, Josh Abraham here. Josh Abraham is definitely just going to try to solve that reach and the grappling of Aiden Lee. I think those are two things that have been weaknesses for Josh Abraham at many points in his career. If he does break that reach, though, the guy can bang. He's a bopper, and I really do like kind of the style that he brings into the fighting out of Roughhouse here. Had a very quick knockout of an 0-1 Liam Thompson. Had a kickboxing fight as well. That's where he wants to be. When the fight gets exposed to the grappling, however, we saw him get finished by Elliot Jenkins in Cage Warriors. We saw him get controlled by Diddy Kong, Steve Amable, and then Chris Edwards, another not good decision. Lost there, took off 4 years. So came back, got a very quick knockout, and now he's facing a veteran in the game in Aiden Lee. Aiden Lee's chin's been exposed a couple times, but it's been exposed by some of the best, but was exposed in his last fight in the 4th round. So be interested to see how he comes back here. But I think that as long as he doesn't get into a war on the feet, he, I think, avoids the danger, but he's been knocked out by Dean Truman, man. So, like, honestly, Abraham could knock him out, but I'm going to edge with Lee here with the experience. Big stage, main card opener for Abraham. I mean, he's going to have to come out and get a finish early, I would think.
I have Aiden Lee by submission. Huge step down from his previous competition. So,
yeah,
he was up 2 rounds against Adidas Binder. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Minus 300. I think that's very parlayable here on a card like this. So, Aiden Lee minus 300, I think, is perfectly appropriate. Abraham is KO or bust in this spot.
Yeah.
Next fight here, 155. Chase and Blair, the wrestler out of North Carolina who likes to just get in there and throw down against Arturs Liazons, the Latvian fighter who likes to get in there and throw down or get killed. This is going to be a kill or be killed. Both guys are just going to, I think, meet in the middle. If one of these guys is shooting, it's obviously going to be chasing. So if he has to, he'll go to grappling. If he knocks him out on the feet, he won't need to. Arturis is a kind of just a beast, man. He hits really hard until he runs out of gas, but I can't trust Blair in this spot. And I think there's a very good chance they just stand in the middle and throw down. In that case, this is a much closer line than it would be. But you're shaking your head. Tell me why I'm wrong.
No, it's a layup. Jason's gonna shoot in for a double leg or whatever, and this idiot from Latvia is gonna jump guillotine, and he's gonna squeeze. Jason is gonna stay calm. He's gonna pop his head out and ground and pound him. Round 1 KO, TKO.
Okay.
Yeah. He jumps guillotine in every fight.
I'm not betting the Latvian, to be clear. Yeah. I'm just staying out of this one. Plus 350.
Yeah.
Not moving.
I even watched some of his Sambo stuff. Same there. He jumps guillotine. You
I
can't
really
get
don't.
there.
Yeah, I do not want to see a jump Gilly here.
Yeah. So round 1, ground and pound.
All right, and yeah, now Chase and Blair out of Next Generation in Liverpool, so the adopted hometown fighter, you could say. It's interesting because I think they just tried to make the main card all until at least the main event really high action fights. It feels like because again, Leon Hill and Tommy Hathorn here, neither guys I'm all that crazy about, but they're really fun to. Tommy Hathorn's extremely fun to watch. The dude just goes in there and tries to be killed or kill, like, and in that order. He really doesn't have much worries about but he, the guys he's facing are, he's getting exposed by Liam McCracken really bad in that first round. He got shook and then he got put out badly, and then he's beating an 0-0 fighter, and then 4-2 Kyle Stevens. Just not a high level that he's ever beat. And with Leon Hill, he lost to Ewan Davies, who's a very high level prospect. The Demetrio win, very good. The Zambala fight was very good. I get Zambala 7-6, but showed some good toughness. He's a very long, rangy guy as well. Very, very good body triangle, things like that. I think Leon Hill has so many more tools to his game than Tommy Hathorn. So Leon Hill should kind of be able to keep him at distance, keep him out of the danger, expose him in the grappling if he has to. And minus 180, I think this is one of the better valued favorites on the card. I like Leon Hill here. Most likely gets it done by submission or beating him up from the back.
Yeah, Leon Hill is 6'3" versus 5'9", 5'10". So you have to ask yourself how Tommy is gonna, close the distance. Does he have a strong overhand right he can knock him out with? I don't think so. So I have Leon Hill by decision. Yeah,
Tommy does have some good shots, but he's definitely more a hook style fighter.
Okay. So maybe he can find his chin.
Yeah, he could maybe. But next fight, the one women's fight on the card. And I think it's actually a decent fight at bantamweight. Kennedy Freeman coming back from kickboxing to MMA. She looked good in her return. It was 3 minutes, but really powerful straight right, caught her opponent several times. And Giselle, it's Giselle Libonio. I believe. What do you think, Moiz?
No, this Giselle, she reminds me of Raquel Pennington. She's going to try and rush in and grab Kennedy and hold her against the fence. But I think Kennedy might just land a check right hook or just a regular hook and knock her out. Either that or submit her. Lock in some guillotine or something because
I don't even see odds on this fight yet.
Giselle is very, very predictable,
right? And I think that Kennedy has to have been training the other aspects of MMA in those 4 to 5 years off in between her fights to she can't have just come back and expect it all. So I think she defends a little bit and she'll find the chances out here. So I think Kennedy is not being brought in, or Giselle's not being brought in for Kennedy Freeman to look bad. So we're going to move on to the next fight, which is currently the co-main event. We'll see if it stays that way. James Power, a very strange fighter, a fighter I've had a lot of trouble getting a read on so far in his Cage Warriors career, taking on Daniel Kolinzinski, or Kolinzinski, however you pronounce the Polak's name here. But this fight's at lightweight. Daniel has spent time at welterweight, known as the Koala with KO. Bolded for whatever reason. Faced a pretty low level of competition. And, he's got some kickboxing experience as well. But I don't see why he's being brought into this fight other than make James Power look very good. I think they're trying to build up this guy. I think they like him a lot. He had a stumble against Michael Pagini, the Italian fighter, 6-0 undefeated fighter. But other than that, the Copra fight, the retirement, the Adam Shelley fight, putting him away with the knees and the punches, really good Muay Thai fighter, has good ground and pound as well. And good power for the most part. But after his last decision in his next fight, he did look a little more gun shy. So, kind of curious here if he continues to fight a little more timid. I think it could be smart against rather than getting a firefight with the koala. But I mean, James Power is being showcased here, I would think. So he should get this done, and I would hope he gets it done by finish. What's your thoughts on the co-main event, Moiz?
I'm going with the Polish guy. He's a better kickboxer. Can mix up this hand strikes with kicks.
You think he'll be the underdog when they release the line?
Most likely the underdog as well. So,
what line would you be betting him at?
Give me plus money.
Plus money.
Yeah. I think his shot selection will cause some issues for James Power. So
okay. No, I like the shot. I'm not super sold on James Power either. I'm looking, and then it's 6 foot versus 5'9" as well.
Yeah.
Huge reach advantage for Daniel as well. He's going to be the much bigger guy coming down from welterweight.
Yeah.
Last fight was at 165, so he's been making the move down. Yeah, I don't hate it at all. So, all right, main event time. I mean, minus 500 Harry Hardwick versus Orlando Prins here. That's what we're at. I don't know if I can trust Harry Houdini Hardwick, who is, in my opinion, the less superior Hardwick brother, at this price range against a guy like Prins, who, Prins has had his bad moments. He had the loss to Mearns, which is obviously bad. Samuel Bark, who we are a Samuel Bark channel here. We love Samuel Bark on this channel, so we won't have any besmirching of Samuel Bark. No shame there. I think that Harry Hardwick has been waiting to get exposed a little bit. And I don't know if it's going to be here. I don't know if it's going to be when he's going to the next level like his brother, or if he's going to sneak in like Oban Elliott and get a couple of wins before he gets exposed. But Harry Hardwick's getting exposed sooner or later. I can't get to it here, but obviously not betting Harry Hardwick at all. But I respect anybody taking a shot on Prins. Short notice here. I'm not sure who that benefits or hurts more, but Moiz, what do you think about this one?
Well, he already has been exposed before, I guess, against Blaine or Driscoll and Richie Smolin, like the worst of the worst. So
Prins is at that level. He's right at the Richie Smolin level.
Prince's BJJ is much better. I would expect, but the problem is again get-up games, and if Hardwick can stay safe. So, you know what? Since it's 5 rounds.
Yes. Short notice 5 rounds.
I'm going to pick Orlando Wilson Prins to get a late submission.
Woo!
Yeah, let's go.
I love it. Championship round submission for Orlando Prins.
Yeah.
Always going bold. I love it. Well, we just went through 15 fights, man. Is there any fights or anything particularly you want to point out on the card before we call it a day? It is for the vacant featherweight championship, by the way. But I want to thank you for making the time. Thank you, everybody in the chat, double-digit chat viewers, and the debut of Moiz Audio as a panelist. You've been supporting and really huge part of the growth in this channel over the last couple of years, which I will always give you first and foremost credit, Moiz. As you know, it's the reason why this channel has grown. Anything else to say about Cage Warriors 172?
No, just looking forward to seeing Charles Joyner, Jack Humphries, and Kennedy Freeman, of course. So.
All right, I love it. And Moiz is ready for his first day at school, and Moiz passed with flying colors, man. He's welcome back anytime. You already knew that.
The encounter.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here on this encounter of the Air the Dog MMA breakdown show. It's the one breakdown for the week, and so we did a Cage Warriors one. So the real ones are here. Jong Lee in here giving the shout out to Moiz in the house. Justin popped in. Brian asking about the clown show. Nope. We love it, man. We love having you on. You're always welcome, Moiz, as you know. We'll be back next week with the UFC Breakdown Show. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.